Some people have had, that SNL skit of like, some people have had really phenomenal experiences. And then some people have had terrible, like terrifying experiences. So like, man, I feel like there's this divide that's happening, definitely in the way that I like to think about it. Because if I go down that path of the experiencer, it's like, ooh, not going to sleep great tonight. But if I just keep it on the surface, as far as like, are they a threat or not, that's easier for me to get through my day and
right.
talk about that and think about it.
So that's like what you just described, how there's positive experiences and there's negative experiences. It just makes me think that it's not all the same thing.
Oh,
like
yeah.
It's got to be multifaceted. And something that Lou Elizondo, who's been on interviews on Fox and Newsmax lately, has even said things along the lines of, how do we know they haven't been here for a long time? To me, that says, well, we might have something that lives amongst us that we can't perceive. And I always like to use the metaphor of, before people had microscopes, they could see evidence of chemical reactions and things decaying, and they could see the evidence of it occurring, but they couldn't look at it to see what was causing it until technology caught up and they could start to use tools to investigate further. That's where I think we're at with whatever this phenomena is maybe we are starting to have the equipment necessary to perceive it in a more substantial way than what we have before. Just my thoughts.
Definitely.
I think that's it.
Me and Ben were having this conversation earlier. We had heard somebody say, as many cases as I've heard and gone through, which is thousands, nobody's ever mentioned a Tic Tac. The only time I've ever heard of a Tic Tac is by the military or by the government. Why is it that the military and the government are the only ones reporting these Tic Tacs, but actual like experiencers and just your average person has never experienced this Tic Tac thing? What is it about this Tic Tac that is attracting them to specifically military and government people? And that kind of like blew my mind a little bit, like, you're right.
Yeah.
I've never heard of any Tic Tac thing either until obviously the Navy came out, right? With all their stuff. And it's like, that's kind of eye-opening, and that's a really interesting question. Why out of all these hundreds of thousands, millions of cases, why is it only like the military people that are encountering these Tic Tac things? Like, what is it about that? What are your thoughts? I mean, have you thought about that before, or like?
I don't know how to explain all the different shapes. Jacques Vallée has put forth the theory that basically says we could be being messed with. Basically, like, pretend we're sitting in a movie theater and we're looking at the screen. Well, there's a Tic Tac on the screen. Look at that screen, and there's a saucer on the screen. It's catering to the audience.
Right.
It knew that you wanted to come see a horror movie, so it put a horror movie in on this one. It knew you want to see a comedy, it put comedy on.
Right.
But we're seeing what it's wanting us to see. What we need to do is turn around and look in the projector's booth to figure out what's actually going on. Is
right.
Jacques Vallée's theory.
Right.
Boiled down as best I can.
Yeah, like people see ghosts, and it's like, oh, well, it presented itself as a ghost. Some people see aliens. Oh, well, that's just because the phenomena has presented itself as an alien. I saw Bigfoot. Well, the phenomena just presented itself as Bigfoot. Like, yeah, like I like that theory a lot, I guess. Just the phenomena as a whole presents itself to you kind of how you would interpret it. An angel, whatever you want to call it. Like, it just presents itself to you how you think you would be most receptive to it.